What's up, YouTube? Tucker back with Next Level Freight. Here to give you guys another update on my trucking journey, my trucking experience from my point of view. Owner operator out of California, Southern California. There's a difference for sure. So I want to give you guys a brief overview of the week. A little bit less in terms of profit and gross. I would call the previous video kind of an outlier. I do expect more weeks where you're going to be profiting about $4,000, but I would say on average, where I'm probably going to be at is probably going to be close to about $3,000. If I can get to $3,500, I consider that a really good week. $4,000, and I just absolutely knocked it out of the park. So it's expected because I did spend a little bit more time at home, and when you're not in the truck and the wheels are not moving, you're going to make less money. Spend a little bit more time in the gym. I got 2 more workouts in than I normally do. I try to get in 3 times a week. I think this last week I got in like 5 times, so it was really good for my mental. I felt really good to knock those workouts in, still make money. But I am going to start ramping it up a little bit, because once you get used to making a certain amount, once a lower amount comes in, it kind of just feels like not you failed, kind of feels like you failed. But it is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. We got to adjust. We got to keep going, keep moving, keep evolving. So the second part of this video, man, is something that is super important to me, and as an owner-operator, it was something that I had never even thought about. You know, I thought about accidents, I thought about tickets, I thought about breakdowns, your engine going out, your tires being blown, your steer tires going. I thought about all these things, factoring companies not paying you, loads being damaged. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But one of the things I had never thought about or even considered is that someone would steal my 18-wheeler. Steal it. I heard about people getting their CPC stolen, but it just didn't really cross my mind. So truck security was not even top 5 on my list, which was a mistake. So learn from me. I'm gonna add that video to this video, and it's crazy. I guess now I can look at it and I can laugh, but how I found out my truck was stolen is I showed up, my truck wasn't there. Funny story, I was supposed to be at my truck for a load at like 5:30 a.m., 5:45, and I ended up sleeping in, and my alarm clock didn't go off. So I showed up at like 6:40, and my truck was stolen around 6:30. And we got the footage, so you'll be able to see my truck pulling off, and I'm not in it, and then it bounces, it just leaves. I thought about a couple of things when I saw that video. One is I was pissed that I was late. But then I thought about what could have happened if I would have showed up and they were in my truck. There was no way I was going to let them get away with stealing it. So they could have had a gun, they could have had a knife. I mean, we could play the what if game, you know, until we're blue in the face. But since then, we've done a couple of things to try to enforce our truck, alarms, just certain things that aren't going to completely stop someone from breaking into your trucks. What I didn't know is that these trucks are super easy to break into, bro. They're not extremely difficult to get into. But we're gonna add some links in the description of the things that we bought for our trucks, my truck, just to make sure that if they are gonna steal it, they're gonna have to work. You know, it's not gonna be an easy ride. But yeah, let's get over into the RTS app, and we'll go through some of the loads that we booked. We're not gonna do the calculator. We did that. We're trying to make a shorter video this time around. But we'll go through. We'll show you the numbers on what we booked load by load for that week. And then we'll get over into this exclusive footage of my truck, my baby, getting stolen, man. And we'll talk about how we got it back and what we've done since then to prevent it from happening in the future. So let's go ahead and switch over. All right, so we're gonna start on the 18th. That would be the day that we would have submitted our Monday loads. The next day, the following morning. So we got Uber Freight LLC, $500. Trinity Logistics, $500. Uber Freight LLC, $525. New Age Logistics, $700. That $70 is the tension that was added to the load. Best Logistics, good paying load, but the receiver took far too long, man. Far too long. It actually ended up taking us about 6 hours to get unloaded, and the broker was not much help. It was one of those situations where the broker says, yeah, they'll take you early. Go straight through. They just want to get you there. 6 hours of our life that we'll never get back, but it is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. AAA Logistics Services, that was $550. We got Uber Freight LLC. It says hell, but we ended up submitting that the following day, and it got pushed through. That was a short load. This was about 15 miles on a Friday. They were desperate. We did that load the same day that we did the Molo Solutions load, which was about 40 miles. Those loads didn't take, I think, longer than about 2 hours a piece. So really quickly, we made $400 first. We did that $500 load, and this was all before we picked up our $700 load that delivered the next day on Saturday in San Diego. So fantastic Friday. Really, these 2 loads saved our week because we had kind of taken some time off, man. You know, spent a little time at home, got a little extra sleep, a couple of extra gym workouts. So those loads saved us. We got Emerge Tech for $600, great paying load, and then Echo Global Logistics for $525. So not bad at all, not bad at all. We'll add up all of the loads. We'll talk about, you know, some of the expenses, the fuel, our daily expenses, and then we'll get over into what we profited for that week. All right, so there are all the loads that we booked. It ended up coming out to $6,120 in gross. We had a daily expense of $1,085, which again, every trucker or owner operator's dream is to have a paid off truck and trailer. This October, finally, we'll stop having to pay for the truck and the trailer, so that's going to help our overall profit extremely. But until then, it is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. We got $1,487 in fuel and maintenance fee that we take out for tires and stuff like that, $356. So that leaves us with a profit of $3,129 for the week. Again, we want to try to be at 3,000 if we can, but if we get 4,000, fantastic. 3,500 is preferred. But considering I took some time off and spent a little bit more time at home, a little bit more sleep, spent a little bit more time with myself, I consider it not really a bad week, man. So hopefully the next one we end up getting closer to 3,500, which I think we should not be a problem. So let's we're gonna switch over now, and we're gonna get over into the video of our truck getting stolen. Again, I can laugh about it now, but at the time I was terrified. But let me let you guys see it, and just imagine how you would feel if you saw your truck pulling off like this. Let's switch over.
Yeah, it's going slow.
And that's as far back as it goes, right?
There's a turning circle back there, but the people across the street have some pretty great cameras. So
I'm just saying, like, maybe they can see, because
Yeah.
they would have to gotten in, you know?
Oh, yeah, I mean, they maybe can see who's driving based on their cameras. I was just wondering here when he comes back if we got any shot of seeing
Who's in it?
who's driving. Here.
This is fucking crazy.
That's just shitty when people doing stuff like that. There's a way to zoom this. No, let me find it. You can go ahead and stop it.
All right, there's the exclusive footage. How we got the truck back. We actually, about 3 days later, we got a call from a Santa Ana number asking if we were Next Level Freight. She informed us that she was with security at Main Place Mall over in Santa Ana, and they had planned on towing the truck if somebody didn't come pick it up, because it had been parked there for a couple of days. I let her know that it was stolen. Informed her that she should probably call Santa Ana PD because we don't know if someone's still in it. And I did the same. And a 20-minute drive from my house to Santa Ana Mall, it took me about 10. I was smashing over there. Got there, sure enough, there was the truck. They ripped out the ignition, blew my air governor. Obviously the door was pretty banged up, the keyhole. Stole all my tools, some clothes, some shoes, some water, a bunch of kind of petty stuff they took. What they tried to do was, because the trailer doors were open, is they probably assumed that the truck was loaded. Once they realized that there was nothing in the truck, they stole what they could and just abandoned it and left it there at the mall. And finally, security, Main Place Mall security called me and were able to get it taken care of. But a few of the things that I've added in my truck for security, which is really probably the most important part of this video, owner-operators, guys who are looking to own their own truck, or even driving somebody else's truck as a company driver, because they can steal your stuff. If you got stuff in the truck, I mean, even if it's not your truck, they can still steal your phone, your wallet. If you invest in a couple of things to try to make it a little bit harder, it could save your stuff or save your truck. So first one on the list, and I'm gonna add all these in the description, is motion sensor alarms that I got from Amazon. They're cheap, it's about 30 bucks a piece, and they're extremely loud. You can set them once you leave your truck. If anybody opens it, the doors, or gets inside, both of these alarms are gonna go off, and it may just be what saves your stuff from being stolen. Another one is the steering wheel lock. You've probably seen one of these in your life before, the old school locks. They can be cut with a bolt cutter, but it's gonna take time for them to do that. Who knows if they're gonna be prepared and have a bolt cutter ready. But if you have that on your truck and it's a deterrent, just another obstacle for them to have to get through to take your truck, why not? I throw it in there, cheap. You can find them for 15, 20 bucks. Maybe the nicer ones a little bit more on the expensive end for like 45. But I'll add a description and a link for that as well. And lastly, air tags. You got to be able to track your truck. I got air tags on the truck and the trailer. I got like 3 of them. I'm not playing games this time around. So anywhere my truck goes, I'm able to see it in real time. If my truck moves, I'm able to see that. I got notifications and stuff set up on my iPhone. So if you have an iPhone, it's really good. But there's some trackers that you could probably get if you have Android that probably work just as well. So don't be like me. Take truck security serious. It could have been a lot worse. I was already thinking that the truck was gone. I'd already been in talks with my insurance, and boy was my insurance happy to find out that the truck was not stolen, you know? But it was gonna be a whole investigation with them, and where did you park the truck, and tons of questions. So I'm glad that it worked out the way it did, but it could have been prevented. It could have been prevented. So hopefully you guys take something from this video. I got a load to deliver, and I'm running a little late.